There's a lot to get into. First and foremost, not a good night for Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte has been dominating this war of words, but man, I was very surprised that Charlotte let that Chicago crowd get to her the way that it did. And she was even trying to chase the hug, like as a heel, calling the Chicago crowd the smartest fans out there here in Chicago. You're the heel in this situation. Why are you playing up to the crowd? And they stepped on her, and she let them step on her. And Mark and Bully, you guys know better than anybody. Once you let that crowd in, they are going to get right in there. And when you show weakness to the crowd, they are going to attack. And they certainly attacked Charlotte on Friday night.
Charlotte should have never said that I'm going to let you get the last word. You never let nobody get the last word. You fight over the last word like you fighting over the last piece of steak. And when she said that, I went, oh, because she went back on her word. It got so bad that she had to comment again. Tiffany, we said this. Tiffany got her ass handed to her in that last one that they had, where they did the split screen thing, and
yep.
Charlotte tore her ass off the bone. And I'd be damned, Tiffany had a lot of material. She had so much material, she was waiting on Charlotte in the weeds. After the promo, Charlotte said something, the crowd was already against her. Charlotte tried to make it seem like, no, I'm the heel. I built this up for you. But she didn't say that. And she looked weak because she kept on trying to re-say the same thing. And as a heel, as Bully can attest to this, I don't have to be polished. I don't have to be in everything doesn't have to be succinct. You know what I got to be? Deliberate. I got to have purpose. I got to tell you, I don't like you, and it don't matter how great you are. I got to answer for every question that you have. In the ring and out of the ring. Charlotte was not that night.
No, and Tiffany, kudos to Tiffany. She threw Charlotte's words right back at her. Like Charlotte used that line like, that's power. And then when Tiffany was getting the positive response, she threw her own words right back at her and said, no, that's power. And then when Charlotte was chasing the hug saying, I wanted to be here in front of this smart Chicago crowd, Tiffany threw it back. It's like, yeah, you're playing up to the crowd and they still hate you. Like I thought Tiffany did a phenomenal job, but Bully, I was surprised about because Charlotte's been on point up until Friday night. Friday night, as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say, was a bad day at the office for Charlotte Flair. Your thoughts,
it was.
Charlotte has not been in front of a hostile crowd like that in quite some time. Think about this. Let's look at her timeline. She was gone for a year. Hasn't been in front of a crowd at all. She comes back at the Rumble, gets a nice reception. She wins, gets a nice reception. In the past probably 6 weeks since she decided that she was going to pick Tiffany, the reactions to both women have been, I'd just say, good at best. Half the people pop for Charlotte because she's a star. Half the people boo for Charlotte because they don't want Charlotte in the main event picture again. Tiffy has really run the course so far of what they could get out of her. She cashed in Money in the Bank. She's the champion, and she has not been stepping up to the plate in the past 6 weeks at all, to the point where you, LaGreca, have gone on record to be like, this girl does not belong here. This is going to be a bloodbath at WrestleMania, and things have not been going right. Charlotte gets in front of that Chicago crowd, and they gave her the Dom treatment, and she didn't know how to handle it. Or she does know how to handle it, but she did not do a good job that night. And when Tiffy hit her with the line of "that's power," I think I got under Charlotte's skin, because Charlotte heard the response of the people. Then the people wouldn't let Charlotte get a word in edgewise. It's the big talk about the lines, especially the lines at the end of the promo, telling her that she's 0-3, telling her that she's going to be alone. When it comes to what is going to be done or said in the ring, as long as there is a mutual understanding and a mutual agreement, then anything and everything is okay. Nothing is off limits. Me and Tommy, for the longest time, have an agreement. Nothing is off limits. I've talked about his mother. I broke his wife's neck. I would talk about his twin daughters if I had to get a rise out of him, because it's just going to be best for business. So if you guys have an agreement, then that's fine. What I heard the other night, I'm not quite so sure that it was agreed upon. Because when Tiffany Stratton makes the comment about being 0-3 and alone in life, who is she really talking about?
I mean, she's talking about Charlotte's been divorced 3 times.
She's talking about Ashley Flair, not Charlotte Flair. In storyline, Charlotte Flair is a 14-time women's world heavyweight champion and the best women's wrestler on the planet then, now, and probably forever. She went into personal Ashley Flair territory. That's never been a part of the story. Nor do I think, and this is just a guess, nor do I think that Charlotte would be okay with that, because she certainly didn't look okay talking about it on that talk show. You know, and also the word alone. You know, people suffer from loneliness, and it's a serious affliction. So I don't have a problem with it if Charlotte didn't have a problem with it.
There you go.
But Tiffany hit those lines at the end, and she bailed real fucking quick, didn't she?
Yep.
Mark, if I were to stand up to you in a ring and I said something to you at the end, if I said something about your personal life and your wife, and then I dropped and rolled out of the ring, what does that make me?
A coward.
Thank you.
And Charlotte hit the Ludwig Kaiser line too, and that's never been brought up on TV.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. That's right. So Charlotte fires back with a line, a personal line that has never been exposed. I don't know what Tiffany Stratton's real name is, but, you know, whoever that is, that's the girl who dates Ludwig Kaiser. So all of that stuff has never been on the table. If there's a silver lining to any of this, people are finally talking about Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair.
And
Yep.
I don't think Tiffany needed to go that route, because I think Tiffany won the night. I think she won the segment. I don't think you really had to go in that direction, but they did. And as you said, now people are fired up.